If you haven't heard by now, the Tax Freedom Act did pass, but it is completely different than when I first did this video. You'll go back and look, I did a whole video on this topic of the Tax Freedom Act. It is completely different now, and I will go over the main changes. If you'll go back to the other video, you'll see that the original House Bill 531, which was called the Mississippi Tax Freedom Act of 2022, it was 294 pages long, 7,286 lines long. If you have watched any of my House of Representative bills, anytime you have something that large, the chances of it passing is not great. There is a lot of changes in there, which they did not go with that one. This is why I always say, always make sure you're reading the right House bill, because it's still labeled House Bill 531, but the one that actually ended up passing went down to 5 pages long, and it's only 116 lines long, and it goes into effect on July the 1st of 2022. If you stay to the end of the video, I will actually break down each individual part of this bill and explain to why it's different and how it's going to affect you. So we're going to start with why they actually wanted to put this into place, and it's all about your money and numbers. So let's go over here. You'll see that. Now that I have you over here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so we can keep this going. But the reasoning for this change was for the budgeted year of 2021, they estimated $5,690,700,000 of revenue. That's what they estimated, so that's kind of what they built the budget off of. In reality, they actually collected $6,741,384,975. So this is the reason here. The numbers, that's a lot higher than what they estimated, so they want to try to change. And it also goes back to economics. Most states that have almost no income tax will end up eventually having more tax revenue from other means of corporations and stuff like that, and your lottery is a lot of this now. And they were wanting to change your food taxes, which would go down, but your prices of goods that were non-food items were going to go up. That didn't happen in this one, so what we are going to go over is what actually did change. And so in just a second, we'll be right back with that. Now that I have you back over here, we're going to go ahead and put up on the screen of your deductibles. This is the actual current deductibles that, as far as I can tell, are going to go over in the House Bill 531, because it does not state a change. So these will still be the same deductibles. So I wanted to go through and break these down to show you exactly how things are changing and what you might be paying based on these changes. According to the government in Mississippi, the average household income is $46,511, as you can see right here on this income and poverty level. But to make this simple and easy as we go along, I'm going to use $46,000 as our base pay and as a single person. So we'll have the same deductible as I showed in the past. Of a single person, the deductible is $6,000. So technically your taxable income at this point is $40,000, and we'll go right back over here and we'll start figuring this out. All right, like I said, we're going to use $46,000 just to make it simple, and we're going to go as a single person. So our deductible is $6,000. So our taxable income is $40,000. This is just to keep it simple. This is the current tax plan, the one we go through right now. Your first $4,000 is taxed at 0%. So you end up paying $0 on your first $4,000 of taxable income. Then the next $1,000 is taxed at 3%, which is going to give you your $30. Then your next $5,000 will be taxed at 4%, which gives you your $200. So after your first $10,000 taxable, anything past that will be taxed at 5%, which leaves us $30,000 taxed at 5%, which would be your $1,500. So right now, if you made $46,000 as a single person in Mississippi with no other deductibles, this is just to keep it simple, you're paying $1,730. So let's move on to the upcoming years so we can judge everything together, and I'll be right back as soon as we wipe all this off. Alright, I know it looks like a lot of numbers. I hope you can see them, but I'll try to get everything on the board for this last little go. We're sticking with our $46,000 with the $6,000 deductible, because that's what they're still going off of as far as I can tell. That's the new House bill, because none of that changes. For 2022, which is the tax year that we're in right now, your first $5,000 would be 0% taxation, which would be $0. Your next $5,000 is at 4%, which gives you a tax bill of $200. Then your last $30,000 of your $40,000 is taxed at 5%, which is $1,500, which will give you a tax bill of $1,700. As you remember in the 2021, you have the 1730. So between there and now, the new Tax Freedom Act, you're only paying $30 less. Then it goes into your 2023 to 2026. Reason why it stops at 2026 because it's wrote into this Tax Freedom Act that they should have already went back and re-voted on this before 2026. So all of this could change before 2026, but as the new Tax Freedom Act, it goes all the way out to 2026. For your first 10,000 of these 4 years is taxed at 0%, which gives you your $0 tax bill. Then your next 30,000 on 2023 is taxed at 5%, which gives you $1,500. So your total tax bill will be $1,500. And you can see that's $200 less than year 2022. Then goes on to 2024. Your 30,000 is taxed at 4.7%, which gives you the tax bill of $1,410. As you can see, it starts going down. Then you get over to 2025, it's taxed at 4.4%, which gives you $1,320. When you can see, as it goes on, as it goes through, you pay less. Then your 2026, your last 30,000 is taxed at 4%, which gives you a tax bill of $1,200. And right here, you can see that, but we're finna get to this number here. Under the old House bill, we're keeping with the 46,000. As you can see, the complete 46,000 is up there. But what they actually did was change the deductible for a single person as $37,700, which gave you a taxable income of $8,300. But they kept the original tax system where your first 4,000 was taxed at 0%, which gave you $0 on your taxes. Then your next 1,000 would have been taxed at 3%, which would have given you $30. But since we didn't have enough to make the final 5,000, we were only taxed on $3,300 at 4%, which gave us a tax bill of $132. Your complete tax bill under the old Tax Freedom Act would have been $162. This is what you would have been paying this year if they would have kept the original House bill that we went over. That was 200 something pages long, as I discussed at the front of this. But being that they changed it to the shorter one, this is what your tax bill is actually going to be. But with this one here, you paid more for your daily goods. If the economy still goes good, even though everybody says we're in a recession, this still could change. But as it's written right now, this is what we're looking at. I would much rather be paying this because that'd be a whole lot more money in my pocket versus this. But we're here. Let's make the best of it. At least they are going down on taxes. Where I live, they haven't raised property taxes in 2 years. So that's always great. With the old one, there was budget deals in there to lower your tag and everything else. But I did not see that with the new one that actually passed. Only thing that changed was this here. So if you make more than this, expect to pay a little bit more, but not much more. You may not even notice a difference between last year and this year's on your taxes. If you make less, same thing. I mean, you're looking at about a $30 to $50 difference, give or take, if you make around here. So don't expect a whole lot of changes, but there will be some as we go further down into the years. And hopefully your job at least gives you an inflation rate. So your numbers, the more money you make, the more your numbers will separate. Vice versa, the less you make, you're going to be paying roughly the same as this. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video. Somebody may not know about this. Share it with them. That's all I've asked. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.